There was some decent stuff. I mean, it depends on what you're into. I don't get into the old radios. There was a lot of old, I'll say not old, a lot of vintage.
I'd like to find a decent old tube set with some flavor. But I'd like to find my 101. Started building in 1980.
I even saw a couple Heath kits.
Basically, any of their stuff would be fun to get and play with.
I kind of collect keys now. It's kind of a.
We need to start using it.
Well, I've got one that I use, and it's kind of like anything else. I find that if I switch around too much, what little I do, it messes me up if I switch keys. I need to when I'm playing. So, Steve, you're back.
Yes, sir.
North of Washington and Maryland. I'll bet that's really nice this time of year.
Hot.
Hot?
High 80s, low 90s.
Yeah.
Pretend you're signing up for.
My son lived in Baltimore for a number of years, so we used to go and
There's stuff.
visit.
I heard you talking earlier about traffic.
I just started going down to work.
That's a piece of cake.
Yeah. Yeah, we get pretty spoiled here in Oklahoma City. I mean, bad traffic is nothing like a lot of other places. It's
And I don't think the traffic changes between 2 o'clock in the morning and 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
well, I know even in Dallas, rush hour starts about 2 hours earlier than it starts here. Rush hour traffic or whatever. So,
Well, I think rush hour traffic starts here at 6 o'clock.
in the morning.
And then, yes, 6 in the morning, and then ends at 5:59 in the morning the next morning.
I'll tell you what's interesting to me, and
Come on, talk to those guys. Oh, it's okay. I'm just gonna relax.
what's interesting to me when there and my son also lived in Massachusetts is the roads are really narrow compared to here, and you just almost never see a dually. And I'll tell you, want to go someplace really tight. Gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Where's the Air Force or the Naval Academy?
Annapolis.
Annapolis. Oh my gosh, Annapolis. I could hardly get my regular pickup down the streets with people parked on the sides, and it was so tight.
Well, I'm running a 32-foot Fleetwood Flare. I'm sorry, Storm, my newer one, and it has some challenges once in a while.
Yeah, not bad. Now, is that is that like a Class B or is that a trailer?
No, Fleetwood Storm. No, it's a full-fledged 32-foot motorhome.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm lucky. My cousin is with us. He's got a 39-foot. And he's towing. I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has it chilled out any there, or is it still hot?
Well, it was hot yesterday at like 90 something, and then today I think it only got up to about 90. It's supposed to get down to the 60s tonight, so we got a cool front going. That's what I hear. I'm gonna try to open the windows tonight and see what happens.
The evenings are nice. The days are, like I said, low 90s. I think it got up to 91 or 92 today. So,
by the way, there's my favorite key, and behind me now, that one came from the Ukraine. Except I decided I didn't like the paddle that was on it. It was too narrow. So I used my 3D printer and printed a thicker paddle. About almost a ½ inch thick. So I could. It looked like they've got a big crowd down in Norman tonight. So how long you out for, Steve?
Oh, probably another mid-October.
Cool.
We'll be back. From here, we're gonna run up to New Jersey and take the ferry across and hit all the big points for about 2 days in New York City. Move on up the coast to the Arcadia National Park, and then start working our way back home.
I'm on some Facebook pages, and a lot of people camping up in Maine and stuff right now. That's the place to be. Nice, cool nights, and Vermont, and Maine, and beautiful.
We're hoping to catch some leaves turning.
Yep. Yeah, when my son lived in Massachusetts, boy, it was beautiful up there get there at the right time of year.
I think we're going to try and hit Boston on the way up. Catch some of the sights there, and then, like I say, move up into Maine. And after that, I don't know what we're going to do. I might just get lost, and it might take me 2 or 3 years to find my way home.
Well, that's what I'd like to do one of these days.
And what's stopping you?
Oh, just stuff. It's I still got a little business I run, and just can't quite give it up yet. So now I'm not sure I can give it up. I bought a new F-150, so I've got to pay for that. But for too long, we do like 3-week trips. That's about how long I can go. We went to Yellowstone back in June, did a 3-week loop up there and back, and now we're in October. We're looking at a 2 or 3 week loop south down to Texas.
Typically, that's about what we normally do. But this was just a little bit too far to go for 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even Yellowstone was, we try not to drive too many hours every day. I like 4 or 5 hours, driving, and gives us time to stop and sightsee if we want to and stuff like that. But it's still, I wished we'd had another week or so, and could have stayed a little longer at a lot of different places. But a lot of them, you don't know you want to stay there longer till you get there. Then you're like, oh wow, this is pretty awesome.
Well, I think the last time I talked to you all was we were on our way to Moab.
Yep.
Made the trip to Moab, Bryce Canyon, Zion National Park, come back Lake Powell, took a boat ride on the lake, and kind of worked our way back from there. That was a good trip.
See, I want to go there and just park for 2 weeks. I don't know how long it takes to get there or back, but just have 2 weeks just in one campground, and then take trips. Take the truck and go to Canyonlands and all this stuff. But done all that. My son went to University of Utah for his bachelor's degree, so we used to go to Salt Lake, and then every time we'd take a trip down somewhere. But I go and see it all again. Chase some rattlesnakes.
I haven't seen any of those yet.
We ran into a bunch of them there in Utah, even there around Salt Lake City. Or we'd go hiking up in the hills around Salt Lake. There'd be run to a rattler from time to time. So, Chris, what are you up to?
Well, I'm just sitting here wondering what kind of pretty paddle that is behind you.
I'd have to look. That is, there's a guy that sells them on this one. This is my favorite. I got it right here in my hand. It's a guy from Ukraine that sells those, that makes them and sells them. And he sells them on eBay. And except that he didn't have one on eBay that I liked, but he has a website, and I will get you that information here.
Oh,
shortly.
yeah, that's all right. It'll be 40 years till I could use one of those. I just think it's pretty.
Well, I'm not very I'm not good with it, and I just flail around a little bit on Morse, but not enough to really carry on anything. But I get to where I think I'm getting pretty good at it, and then I was actually feeling pretty good, and then we took that 3-week trip to Yellowstone and back, and literally I did not hear a dit or a da for 3 weeks, and I got back. It's just like I knew nothing, but doesn't keep me from collecting keys.
You use it or lose it.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's it's like any language, and the guys I know that are good at it are on there almost daily. And
well, I'm going to take a stab at it, but as soon as I get this antenna mast in, I'm installing that Thursday. As soon as I get that in and concreted and the antenna back up in the air, then I'm going to start on my general. And once I get that behind me, I'll start on code.
I just think, I decided I wanted to learn how to do it. And part of it is I just, it's kind of the ultimate, if you're stranded in the woods or wherever, if you can peck out some code. I even carry this little, if you can see this or not, I carry this little cheat sheet in my wallet that I made, and, it's literally with me anytime my wallet's with me, which is almost except when I'm in bed. And, it's, if you can tap 2 wires together, you can communicate and or flash a flashlight or whatever. So,
well, I am anxious to get started. I've got 3 keys right now, and going to sell 2 of them because I'm trying to come up with money for a radio. But I'll get there sooner or later.
So, what are you looking for in a radio?
I think I'm looking for a Kenwood TS 590 SG.
That's one I'm an ICOM guy, but
I think most of the guys in the club are. Everybody wants me to get the IC 7300, but I don't care for it at all. It's not my bag.
that's what I've got, and I don't regret it. But
everybody wants one or has one except me.
Years and years ago, I was into, well, still am into photography, but I was always into Pentax cameras, and people would always ask me what kind of camera to buy, and I say, pick it up and hold it in your hand, and if it feels right to you, then buy it. If it's a Canon or Pentax or a Nikon, I mean, they're all great cameras, and don't buy an off-brand, but the major ones, just see which one feels good to you. And same way with radios to me. It's got to fit you. So.
Yeah, I've got my whole Hasselblad system for sale. Trying to get out from under all that stuff.
Oh, is that you? I saw that on.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to have that. I've got a Pentax.
That's a swinging deal.
I've got a medium format Pentax and a 4x5 speed graphic, and haven't shot anything.
I sold all of my view camera equipment last week. Deerdorf and all my lenses and all that stuff.
Oh, good. I don't know if there'd be a market for that stuff anymore or not.
Oh yeah. If somebody in the club isn't interested in this Hasselblad, I'm going to pack it up and send it to KEH.
I've never looked at them. I've heard mention of the name, but
well, you get about $0.25 on the dollar, and you can you can sell it for about 50 cents on the dollar if you can find the right party.
Right.
But I figure I'm offering it to the guys in the club for what KEH offered me. So I just
I
want
saw
someone
that.
to
I
have
need
it.
Well, that's I'd always, I mean, it'd be like a lifetime dream to have a Hasselblad, but I haven't shot a film camera in so long now. It's
Yeah, I'm
know,
all digital.
digital's gotten too easy, and I mean, I've got a dark room here in the house. I mean, I've
Yeah.
built a dark room in my house, and I've never developed a print in it.
I had a full color lab at my house at one point, 8x10 room.
I dabbled with color, but it was just way too complicated. It was easier to send them off.
Yeah.
But, I've got two. I can't remember what my enlargers are. They'll take a 4x5 negative.
Omega,
Yeah,
Omega D2,
D2s. Yeah,
D2. Yeah.
got two
Good one.
D2s sitting here, and
Good ones.
yeah. I had one. I inherited my father-in-law's dark room, who had inherited his father's dark room. So I've got 3 generations of dark rooms in there. But
Well, when I moved here to Norman back in '99, I had a whole lot of medical bills to pay, and my wife was very ill, and I sold my entire dark room just after I got here. Everything in it, down to the stirring sticks, the whole 9 yards.
I'll tell you, I keep thinking actually at one time I had this young gentleman, he was like, 18 years old, that was really into photography, taking a photography class, and he was really into the darkroom stuff. And I have enough stuff, I could give him a darkroom,
Yep.
but then he got married and that went away. And, so I don't, but if I could, find some young person that really was interested, I could give them a dark, trays and like you say, stirring sticks and enough stuff to get started. I started out, the priest at our church started me out in his bathroom with a little Instamatic, which was basically a 35 millimeter in a cartridge, and we'd bust the cartridges open, and that's how I got started when I was about 12 or 13. So
I started with a Brownie Hawkeye.
I've got one of those too. I've got a bunch. I collect cameras too, so I've got a bunch of cameras.
I got a bunch of them. You need any more? I got a bunch of
old ones. Yeah.
Bunch of old folders.
Used to go to Guthrie and go through those junk shops up there looking for cameras. That was kind of a Sunday afternoon for us. I don't know. Let's see what.
Well, are they going to do anything at Elmer's night or not?
I don't know. I only see 3 or 4 people. So. Oh. Sometimes I drive down there, but it's a good. Ken hit it in 30 minutes. Ken and I both live on the north side up here in Oklahoma City. So if you don't hit it right, it can take you an hour to get down there. I usually, if I'm going down, I leave about 4 o'clock. Just get there early. Get there really. If I get there early, I grab a bite to eat, And, but
Well, I live out by Lake Thunderbird, so it only takes me about 20 minutes.
yeah, you're coming in. So what kind of antenna are you putting up, Chris?
I've got a Hustler G7 that I have up on a 20-foot 2x4 right now, but I have built a tilting base, and then I drove down to Plano, Texas, and bought a Roan 50 telescoping mast, and goes to 43 feet, but I'm only pushing it up to 25 feet so that it'll double stack and give it a lot more stability, because I don't want any guy wires. So I'll get that installed Thursday, get it concreted in, and get the mast in the base and get everything back together. I'll probably be off the air for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, look here, G7.
And then when it comes to HF, I'm going to go with wires because I don't have room for a big tower or anything like that, or the money.
Right.
So I'll just go with wires.
You know, I bought a 10 to 80 end-fed half wave for less than $200. I think they're a little over $200 now. And, you know, I just stretched it from my house out. I got 2 sections of top rail from chain link fence, and I concreted one in the ground and put the other one on it. And I run from the eave of my house out to that. And so it's 20 feet tall. And, you know, it won't get me to Italy, but I find plenty of people to talk to. And for right now, that's all I need, you know, get
Well, I didn't think I was going to get interested in HF, but I'm finding 2 meter bores me. There's just nothing that goes on. I drove up to Gentry, Arkansas this weekend to a knife maker's hammer in, and ran my radio the whole time, had all of the repeaters programmed in, and I never talked to a soul. I got to talk to Ken out in Shawnee on the way out, but beyond that, there was, you know, nobody.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, there's that universal
national call.
Yeah, and you know, some of the older guys said you used to drive around the country and you could always, you know, everywhere you went, you talking to people. And
I tried that. You know, I tried that every time I couldn't get through on a repeater.
I've never had any luck at it either. But I have had some interesting, you know, when I'm stationary enough, I've had some interesting conversations on repeaters, you know, when I can find them, and you know, sometimes just scanning through I've got a mobile in my truck, just scanning through the frequencies, you know, kind of like I would HF, find people on repeaters. But you know, actually, we were in the Smokies a few years ago. I found this repeater that turned out I was like 60 miles from this repeater, but I was up in a campground in the Smokies, and those guys talk all day long. You know, these guys on that repeater, they're, you know, one guy had a service station, and he's got a radio there in his service station. This other guy's, you know, anyway, I mean, there were 4 or 5 guys that just talked all day long. And sometimes I'd have trouble breaking in to join the conversation, you know.
Well, on my way back Sunday, I latched onto the Kavanaugh Mountain repeater, and there were 2 guys talking. They talked over 20 minutes about chit chat.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get a word in edgewise if you tried. So I just listened and drove and gave me somebody to listen to while I was doing that part. So, but I don't know, 2 meter just doesn't grab me.
Well, that's why I really enjoy OnStar. Not OnStar. God. What's ICOM's digital?
I don't know. I don't know anything about all that stuff.
D-Star, yeah. Gosh,
D-Star.
I'll tell you, I'm getting old. Yeah, I really enjoy D-Star, and I've got a hotspot that I carry with me a lot. So it doesn't matter as long as I've got cell phone. You know, I hotspot my hotspot through my phone to the internet and talk to people all over the world on it. But that's been the most reliable. You know, talking on 2 meter, that's the most reliable thing as far as, you know, driving across country and being able to talk to people. And and well, I don't know. Fusion's the same way, you know.
I don't know anything about all that fancy stuff. I'm just getting started. So I started out with 2 meter like everyone else.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to get into CW and start reaching out.
Reach a
'Cause I
lot
have
further with, get a lot further with a lot less power, you know.
Yeah, and I have trouble hearing, and I have trouble understanding accents, and so it'd be better because there's no accent on CW.
No.
So I should be able to do all right with that. But even in conversation, I miss out on about a third of what's being said, even with my fancy hearing aids.
Hmm.
And so when I get on the radio, I miss a lot. It's really wild.
Yeah, it's I have certain pitches that I don't hear very well, and I blame my wife that anything that's around her voice, you know, I've totally numb to now. So, but
That's not unusual. Not
sometimes I
unusual at all.
wish, and there may be a way to do it on the, you know, I wish there was some way to adjust the bass and treble, you might say, on the receive end, because sometimes I'll get somebody and they're just the pitch of their voice I have trouble hearing, you know.
Yeah, I fully understand.
It's,
Fully understand.
so Mike, what are you up to? I'm going to get you talking here. What's that shirt say?
I'm chasing FT8. It says Slam Week at Francis Tuttle. Remember that?
No.
You never had Slam Week up there?
Not that I knew about.
Okay.
There's 7 years, but
Well, when I was going to respiratory therapy school, we had it. And that's where I got the shirt.
well,
I
you know,
don't remember.
there were a lot of, I was in admin. There was a lot of things that went on, you know, different departments that,
Yeah.
you
It
know,
doesn't have a date on it, so I couldn't tell you how old it is. Which campus did you work at?
well, my office was, I had district wide, I was the district safety specialist. So I had district responsibilities. My office was at Rockwell.
Okay. That's where I went to classes, was Rockwell.
Yeah. They, it's a good profession.
Yeah.
My ex-wife started out as an on-the-job trainee tech and ended up department chairman out, or department head out in Kentucky.
Oh,
Worked at the same hospital for almost 40 years in respiratory. So
yeah.
it, she retired and bought a little RV like Steve's got. I think hers is a 32 footer too. She sends me pictures.
Well, I was looking for Route 66 contacts on FT8 this weekend. Couldn't find very many, and I finally nabbed one today out in Arizona. You working Route 66?
No, I haven't done any, but I know like Dwayne Angles, who's the president of OCAPA, he's out there at Pops, I think, operating quite a bit, but I'm not sure where to. I think 20 meter is what I heard he was going to be on, but
Yeah,
that's liable to change.
I've been on 20 meters most of the day. That's the only HF band that's halfway worth it. Then I'll bounce up to 30 and then down to 17 a little bit. But right now, where's this guy? Columbia, Missouri, trying to get a K1BZ. And why would a K1 be in Missouri? Isn't that zero land? Sound like a vanity call to me.
Oh, probably. You know, people move.
Yeah, I got him.
Apparently, it used to be a lot stricter on like if you moved, you had to change your call.
Yeah,
But,
I remember those days.
that was before
Let's
my
see.
time.
I think
Oh.
Tom Seal has 6 different call signs.
Excuse me, it's my eyes. It's not Maryland, not Missouri, it's MD, Maryland.
Maryland.
And I was
Okay.
seeing it as MO. Up there by Steve, up in
Yeah.
Maryland. How close are you to Columbia, Steve?
We're just north of Washington, DC.
Okay. Do you know
College.
where Columbia, Maryland is from you?
I'd have to look on a map. We're
Okay.
at College Park.
Okay, let me see here. If I could find him on the map and find DC.
University of Maryland is where we're at.
Okay, he looks like he's about 30 miles southwest of Baltimore.
I'm not even sure where. I have to look at a map.
Baltimore's
I'm not familiar at all with Maryland.
Okay, it'll be,
Baltimore's just north of DC. So
yeah, but it's northeast of DC. So Columbia is almost north of DC.
first Orioles game I ever went to, I was at a conference in DC and we got in a car and it seemed like it only took us like 20 minutes to be in Baltimore from DC. Sitting at the ballpark.
Well, I think it's dark out here and it's snappy time for me. So y'all have a great one.
Steve, you take
73.
care. Good to see you again.
And if we have internet, I will maybe talk to y'all next Tuesday.
All right, enjoyed it.
Take care.
Have a great one.
Okay. Yeah, he's already in a different time zone. It's his nappy time.
Yeah.
That classroom's empty. Where's everybody at?
I don't know. What's
Or are
going on today?
There was
Where's Ken tonight?
Yeah, I was about to ask you that. You said you talked to him, and I hope he's
okay.
I didn't make it to this last week.
He hardly ever misses it.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Clayton Kershaw, the Dodger pitcher, was doing a rehab down here at the Little Dodgers, we call them, here at the OKC Dodgers. So I went to the ball game to watch him pitch, and so I didn't come last week. But was he here last week? Y'all?
Yep. Yeah, because he and I set up our Friday morning talk in advance. He had to crawl up on his roof and put a J-pole up there just so he could talk to me on the highway. Bless his heart.
My gosh.
That's a pretty good guy to do that.
Yeah.
Don't imagine it's easy for him to get up on the roof. So I hope he didn't fall taking it down.
Yeah.
He has got
I sent him an email when I got home and I've not received a response.
He has got so many antennas, it's
Does he?
yeah, he's got a regular farm out there. Like I have this 10 to 80 infed, and I can go, 10, 20, 40, all those bands. He has a different antenna for every band. And
That's the way Conrad was.
He's built
Conrad was that way.
Built most of them himself, and but that's actually the best way. I mean, you really tune them, and you get your best results. And in some cases, are you familiar with the term beverage antenna?
I've heard the name, but I don't know what it is.
Basically, I don't know a lot of details, but it's just a wire loop you put barely above the ground, and it's a receive only antenna, but it's very, very sensitive for receiving. And so some of the real, I think Ken's one of them. He'll use a beverage to receive and a different antenna to transmit. He'll have a Yagi that he aims to transmit, but then he doesn't transmit and receive through the same antenna. And I don't even know how to do that on my radio.
That's beyond me.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, Chris, I've only been in this gosh, when did I get licensed? 4 years ago now. And I've already got my extra, but you know, this hobby has got, there's so many ways you can go, and just
Yeah,
depends on time and money and how much you want to, what you want to get into. But
yeah. It's like everything else.
yeah, it's yeah, I piddle with a lot of things, but what I really enjoy, and you may tell on here, what I really enjoy is just a good old rag chew. You know, I was sitting picking my wife up for work one day back, oh gosh, April, and I have HF had HF in my pickup truck at the time, and anyway, I ended up connecting with this guy in San Francisco, sitting in a parking lot here in Oklahoma City, and he and I talked for 35 minutes. And I'd probably still be talking to him if my wife hadn't finally got off work and come out, you know, because we talked baseball and we talked fishing and we talked about the weather, and it was just great, you know, and that's what I really got into ham for, you know, is to talk to people. And
Yeah, that's all I want out of it. I don't want to build equipment. Uh, I don't want to make a hobby out of putting up antennas.
yeah.
It's just I want to communicate with people. When we had the ice storm last November, and we watched Texas have so many problems, my wife looked at me and she says, "We live out here in the country. Nobody ever sees us. What would happen if you'd keel over and everything was frozen up and we had no communications?" And I said, "Well, I've got this little handy talkie that I got 8 years ago, 10 years ago." And so that got me into it, because I think there's going to come a time when we're going to need to have radio communications in this country, and it might not be too long.
Well, it gets complicated, and you know, like you just did, you know, when you travel, getting all those repeaters and either program in your radio, or it gets really complicated because there's not much uniformity across the country. What did I do with looking for something here? Huh. But
Where is everybody in the Elmer room?
well, there's somebody back there on the left waving at us. Who is that back there?
I think that's Mike. Yeah, that's Mike. Hello, Mike.
Yeah, they're hiding back there in the corner. Sometimes they're outside doing something, or you never know.
Yeah.
So, but so I was trying to another guy I was hoping would be on here is Mike from that lives in Michigan, and he hasn't been on the last few times I've been on. I was hoping he'd be on
Yeah,
here.
I remember him. Yeah.
And I want to go camping up there. I want to talk to him about get some advice on. I want to take my camper and go up there, get some advice on what time of year and where to go. The yeah, so this bug I bought Saturday at that thing, I walked up and I saw it there and I thought, oh, I want that. So I picked it up and I turned to the guy and I said, how much? And he goes, oh darn, he said, I should have put that away. I already sold that. He said he said, guy bought that about 5 minutes ago. I'm just holding it for him till he leaves. And I said, well, shucks. So anyway, I went and looked and I found another one down the way. not as good a shape as this one, but you know, maybe a little older. I mean, you never know. They made them for 50 years, so but it had some little rust on it. Anyway, I was debating on that. Anyway, I came back up to this guy and I said, just for giggles, what did you sell this for? You know, how much? Because I want to know what this other guy was asking was reasonable or not. And so anyway, he told me, and he says, right here's the guy that bought it. And so I turned around to that guy and I said, man, I wish I'd beat you to this one. He goes, do you want it? I said, yeah. He said, well, give me what I paid for it. And you can have it. And so I said, all right. Actually, he said, I just bought it because it's this widow is getting rid of this guy's equipment. And I just bought it. He said, I don't need it or, you know, but he said, I just bought it to help her out. He said, so anyway, I ended up giving him 10 extra bucks. I said, here, you got to make something for your time. I'm still got it for half what the guy down the way wanted for his. So
Well, here's my pretty. Oops.
Yeah,
You can't see it, can you?
no,
There we go.
there we go. Yeah. Okay, that's another bug, but I can't.
That's a Vibraplex presentation.
Wow, that is nice.
Well, why can't I get a picture of it? There we
Well,
go.
you got to turn off your background to make things work really good. But yeah, see, I've got a
I don't know how to do that in the middle of the
down
show.
where it says stop video down the bottom left. If you'll right click on that, or there's a little arrow there, and it says choose virtual background, and just go to none. This is my. Yeah, I'll show you. This is my first bug, and it's a little longer. You can see the difference back here. Turn this off so I can see you. You see
Yeah, I can't hear you.
that down.
There you
You
go.
can see the difference in the. Here's the new one. This is called a lightning bug, and then see the difference in the
Yeah.
I can't remember what they call that, but
Damper.
yeah. And but
Well, I wish I could show you mine. There we go.
oh, beautiful. I could just collect bugs. I really could. I think they're cool.
Well, I'm going to put this one up for sale since I'll never be able to use it. No way. Hello, Bill. How you doing tonight?
Where is everybody?
I don't
Well,
know. We thought
everybody
you
that
fell in a
counts-
hole somewhere.
Everybody that counts is here, you know.
Yeah, that's true. This is the 18th.
Yeah. But
I'm running tardy myself. I was Route 66ing.
Mike was talking about that.
Yeah,
Bill,
Yeah,
you having any luck with those?
I got 16 of them.
Oh, okay. I got one. But
You got to start somewhere.
yeah, I'm limiting myself to FT8. Are you catching most of them on phone?
I'm sorry.
Are you getting most of your Route 66 on phone?
Phone and FT8.
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't have as good a station as you, or I haven't been staying up all night.
I haven't either. My technique is to walk in, listen to the radio for a few minutes, go back out, get a sandwich, watch some TV, come back in, listen a few minutes. It's funny though how effective that can be.
Yeah. Well, give me some of that luck if you can. Just put it in a jar for me and save it.
I've been.
Bill, what? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask, what is this Route 66 thing?
Well, every year they have this event this time of the year. It lasts a week, and they have X number of stations, usually anywhere from 17 to 22. This year they've got 22 stationed along the old Route 66 from Chicago to Los Angeles. And there's 3 in Oklahoma, Stroud, Tulsa, and Oklahoma City. You just make contact with as many of them as you can. And they offer a nice little certificate. If you just get one of them, you can still get a certificate.
Wow.
It's not really a contest, but it's busy as as more than some of the contests are even. There's even some DX stations try to get them all.
Is it audio or is it CW?
It's CW, phone, or digital. In
I
any
see.
of the 3 modes.
I think this year, if I heard right, the certificate's going to have a picture of the Yukon flour mill. That's the, you know, the sign.
Well, there was a picture on their webpage. It wasn't that, but it may have been another for another reason. I don't know. That'd be neat if it was.
Now somebody was talking about that the other day because they're going to knock that down. That's what I heard.
Oh, okay.
They're going to
Well,
demolish
that's a
it,
shame.
build condos or something there. But
Yeah,
Figures.
another on-cue gas station.
yeah, but it's still lit up. All that neon is still lit up at night. I was up there
Yeah.
down there the other night. It's a shame to lose those landmarks like the round barn. And
Yeah.
there's a Ken.
Ken. Whoops, there he went. Hello,
There he is.
Ken.
We were worried about you, Ken.
Let me get some audio here.
There you go.
That's better.
All right. Well,
Ken, did you get my email
I guess not. When did you send it?
Sunday night?
I did not get it.
Huh. Well, I just wanted to let you know I tried to get hold of you on my way back through Shawnee on Sunday, and didn't want to think I just drove by and didn't holler at you.
Well, I forgot about it. I was outside working, and time I turned it on, I guess you was already. I didn't know what time you was coming by. What time was it?
I got by about 11:15.
Well, that's pretty close to when you said. Well, that was a good QSO.
I enjoyed it. Thank you
I
very
ain't
much.
been-
It meant a lot to me that you took the time to do that.
Well, I put up that antenna on the roof of the house. It was an old vertical J I built about 20 years ago out of aluminum, and it's probably up maybe 25 feet. So it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, we stayed connected for what, about 20 miles,
Yeah.
15 miles?
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. It meant a lot to me, and I do
So, how
appreciate
did
it.
your trip come out? Did you was that a seminar? Is that what it was?
It's called a hammer in,
Yeah.
and it's where knife makers go and show their wares
Mhm.
and do demonstrations on knife making and all of the different facets of knife making. It was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Is there a place here, a forge here that you can go to do the forge work?
Yeah, it's about 50 feet from my back door.
Oh, you have your own.
Yeah, I'm a blacksmith.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of my many hobbies.
Yeah, you sound like you're like me. You got too many hobbies, man.
Yeah, too many.
That's what my
Yeah.
wife says about me. I just
Yeah.
keep telling her,
Yeah.
at least I never took up golf. You know,
Well, me neither.
Well,
Me neither, Sam.
when I came home and told her I wanted to get into ham, she just threw up her arms and she says, "Not another hobby."
Sam,
Yeah.
where you been? I haven't seen you for a while.
well, I wasn't here last week. I'm a big baseball fan, and Clayton Kershaw, the Dodger pitcher, Cy Young winner, was pitching at Oklahoma City last Tuesday. So we went and watched him pitch, and
Yeah.
I tell you, he's got his warm up is just incredible. he starts out in the outfield, puts the catcher up against one wall, and he starts backing up, and he's just they're kind of just playing catch.
Yeah.
Except every time that ball hits the catcher's glove, it goes, and he keeps backing up till he's literally on the other side of the outfield.
Wow.
And he's still popping it, and that catcher never has to take more than a step,
Man,
one direction or the other to catch it.
Yeah.
And this catcher, not a bad catcher, but he couldn't get it back to him. He couldn't throw it back to him that far. He'd have to bounce it to get it back to Kershaw. And Kershaw pop it into his glove again. It's amazing. It's the third time I've seen him pitch here, and it's always just fun.
So what team is he with?
The Dodgers, LA Dodgers, but he's been injured. He's back up with them. It was a rehab, brought him down here to pitch 3 innings, just work out any kinks or whatever. So,
well, Mike and I worked some of the contest the contest was Saturday and Sunday. Most of the contacts I made was Sunday morning, but I made on 2 meters, I made 20 contacts, 8 different states, running 10 watts on 2 meter FT8. That was a blast. And Mike made a few contacts too. You're muted, Mike.
I don't want y'all to hear what's going on in the background.
Oh.
Now, Chris, that's the thing about this hobby. I sit here making contacts with 100 watts with my 7300. Then when you've been in it like Ken is, you try to, let's see what I can do with 50 watts, and let's see what I can do with 10 watts, and let's just try 2 watts. And see, and they're just one challenge after another. You never run out of stuff to do. It's just.
Well, I get a kick out of these guys with these little Altoid can radios, and they go out on a park and put it on a table and send code all over the world. So it just blows me away, little bitty tiny thing.
Well, I remember years ago when PSK 31 was first coming out and popular, I built a kit that put out about 2 watts. And on PSK 31, when you're typing, if you make a mistake and do a backspace, the other guy can see it. I was working a guy in Australia, and me and him both were bad typers, and about half the time we was backspacing. But I was running 2 watts, and I worked Australia with that thing. It was on 20 meters.
On PSK, you can learn how good or bad spellers people are.
Yeah, and I'm not good at typing or spelling. I need one that automatically corrects my spelling while I'm typing.
Well, I don't know. My cell phone does that, and I end up sending the most awful text sometimes.
It can get you sometimes.
Yeah. I think it's a worse speller than I am. So. All right.
Well, what makes me mad is when it changes the words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I type one word, and when I go back and look at it, it put in something else.
Yep.
It just thinks it's smart.
Anyway, I really had fun doing that contest on 2 meter FT8 with, I'm using, I posted, matter of fact, I posted a image of my log on our chat page. What's it called? Discord.
Oh, on Discord.
Yeah. And I posted a image of the log. I made the best 2 contacts I made. One of them was in Ohio. It was a little over 800 miles. And the other one was in Charleston, South Carolina. It was 860 some miles. That's on 2 meters with 10 watts.
Wow.
Did you work the mobile that was coming through here?
I did. He was the second station that I worked, but I didn't know where he was at.
Yeah.
It was slant R for Rover. And but it was N0 something. So I didn't know where he was at until Mike told me later on that he was here in Oklahoma, or maybe even in Norman.
I think on his website, or QRZ page, maybe it was, it showed the route he was going to take.
Yeah, because I think Mike heard him on 2 meter simplex.
Probably.
Well, we made contact on simplex, but I first heard him on the repeater. He was telling people in the Norman area he's going to be in the area.
Yeah.
But to get a contact, it can't be over a repeater. It had to be simplex.
Repeater does not count.
In that particular one.
Mm-hmm.
But that was pretty neat. Now, if I could just get my 2 meter beam up, and not have too many neighbors complain, why, I'll be a happy camper.
Yeah, attic antenna just doesn't work out because you pick up too much noise on receive, and when you transmit, you get into the house wiring, and it's back into your rig and computer.
Speaking of getting into stuff, I got my ferrites today and put one on the HF rig. You know, it was messing up my Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
And now I'm able to transmit. The highest I've gone today is 50 watts on 20, and not affect the Pi. And it's
so that ferrite bead really helped.
Yeah, just one of them.
Where'd you put it?
Right as soon as the coax came out of the radio, I put it right there.
Yeah. That RF's coming back down the shield probably.
Yeah.
You need to put one up at the antenna right at the feed point in the attic.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not the 2 meter that's bothering it. It's HF.
Where's your HF antenna?
It's out in the backyard.
Oh, okay.
But the start of it is probably 12 or 15 feet from the Pi.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, that's direct, what I'd call direct RF, just coming in here.
That's an in-fed?
Yes. I think it has a 9-to-1 balun or a.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
There's John.
Good evening, John.
Hey, John, would you aim that fan toward me? I'm kind of hot.
How you guys doing tonight?
Been good. You've been on there for a while, but no face. So
yeah, no, I was out there pushing my daughter on the swing, so I had to cut her off.
Well, Chris, you're going to have to show us some of your blacksmith work, some of your forged in fire work.
Oh, I haven't even fired it up in a year and a half. Most of the knives that I've been making recently have been done by what they call the material removal method rather than forging.
Yeah.
You use flat steel and you file away what doesn't look like a knife.
Yeah.
So it seems like most of the people who've wanted knives made, that method seems to work best.
Mm-hmm. My problem with it, I would have trouble putting it back on there after I filed too much off.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, I wanted to show you. This is that key that was my background. See how I made that new paddle for it.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know if you can see it, but it's actually got my call sign.
I see that.
And Morse
I
on there.
see that.
But
that's
that
beautiful.
That little plastic handle that came with it was just too narrow. I had to work too hard. I'll put it back up there. But
can you put that up here again?
Yeah.
It's behind him.
Oh, man,
there's
that's beautiful. Oh, that's great.
With the
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's nice.
Yeah, it's on he sells them on eBay. If you'll go on eBay and look at CT755, search for that, you'll see him. He's in the Ukraine. He makes these, and so
I don't see much activity at the fire station.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 groups roaming around.
Took them a long enough time. For the first half hour, there were only about 2 people in the room.
Yeah, there's 2 groups now. There's the poker players and the bridge players, I think.
I miss that. I want this pandemic thing to get over with. I want to start going back.
Yeah,
I miss going to coffee with the guys in the morning, and I miss going to Elmer meetings. And
well, I wish I lived a little closer. It's kind of hard for me to do it. I used to go
Well,
to the meeting there at the fire station on Saturdays, but haven't even done that since COVID.
Yeah, I've done a little of it, but to me, it's the drive down there that,
Yeah. I don't know how far it is for you, but I
takes
live
me,
I live over here by Shawnee Lake, and it's a pretty good drive for me.
can take me an hour. I mean, it just depends on what the traffic's like.
Yeah, at least I don't have to drive across Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to bail out. It's good seeing y'all. We'll check with you next week.
nice
to
seeing
see you, Bill.
Good to see
Say
you,
hi
Bill.
to the guys say hi to the coffee guys.
Will
Good
do.
you got to see us, Ken. That was Ken, wasn't it?
That was Bill.
No, it was Bill.
Bill?
Well, Ken, I need to, when the virus starts easing up a bit, I need to drive over and have breakfast with you or something.
That sounds like a winner.
Yeah, we can
Do
go over to Cracker Barrel and have lunch.
Yep, that sounds like a winner to me.
Okay.
Sam, you going to any more baseball?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've got season tickets. So,
You'll be out there Monday?
I have to look, see where we're.
I'll be out there Monday working.
Let's see. Good gosh, where is
Miss
today?
Donna's been asking about you.
Yeah, I'll be out there Monday. Got a ticket
Yeah.
for Monday. I've
I'll
got
be
a
out
half
there-
season, so I've got it like every other day. So
Yeah, I'll be out there Monday. I got forced into it.
it's
Well,
yeah,
what's happening out there Monday?
baseball game.
Who's playing?
Baseball. I work for Anheuser-Busch, and I wheel the beer, and I ran into this fella, Miss Donna. Miss Donna just loves him.
Yeah.
She works
She's a
that way.
sweetheart. She's one of the beer vendors out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she and I've been
Like-
carrying on for years.
Seems like
Let's
them
see.
beer vendors ought to be pretty popular at a ball game.
Yeah, yeah, they are. But yeah, I imagine you all wheel a lot of beer out there on a
Oh
Busy
man, I wheel
night.
a lot of beer. Maybe not Monday, but
yeah.
state fair going on. But oh, it's been busy this summer. They had that Kershaw guy out there. What, last week?
Yeah, that's why I wasn't here last Tuesday because I was out. I
Oh
was
man,
out there
it
watching.
was busy as.
Did you get to watch him any, or were you too
No,
busy?
no. They called me on Tuesday, and I said no, I ain't coming out there.
Oh, okay.
Because they said they sold what 4,000 more tickets, and I was like, no, you guys can have that. I'm just glad it wasn't a well, it was Thirsty Tuesday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
So
was.
They were busy.
I think it was the busiest crowd, the biggest crowd I've seen this season.
Really?
I mean, even including weekends. I mean, it
Wow.
was. I mean, sure they can give you exact numbers, but it was well crowded. You know,
Yeah.
the interesting thing is the last times he's been here, this is the third time he's rehabbed here.
Right.
And the last 2 times they didn't know about it. I mean,
Right.
the team here, I mean, the guys upstairs didn't know about it. This time, actually the doc, the big managers, the big Dodgers manager announced it, several days before that they were sending Kershaw down here. And so the team here had time to advertise, get some people to come. But the last time he was here, I walked into the stadium wearing my Kershaw jersey.
Okay.
and which I couldn't find last Tuesday. I don't know where it is, but anyway, I was wearing my Kershaw jersey, and I think it was Donna said, "Well, you know he's here." And I said, "Who?" She goes, "Kershaw. You're wearing his jersey." I had no idea. I just showed up for the game, and happened to be wearing his jersey.
Yeah, we found out last minute, last Tuesday. We found out about 3:00 that he was going to be here rehabbing, doing a rehab game. And that's where they were scrambling, trying to get people to come up there and work.
See, I heard about it from the guys at the beer garden there. They told me first, like 2 days before that. They said, "Oh, by the way, Kershaw's going to be here Tuesday."
We didn't even know about it.
And then I got home and I started getting emails from the team, telling me he was going to be there. But I heard it from the beer guys first.
So did they win or what? What happened?
Yeah, they ended up winning. He actually gave up 2 runs in the 3 innings he pitched, and then they turned around and scored 7, I think, and beat them 7-2. So.
Oh, I hate those 10-inning runs, man. Oh, excuse me, 10-run innings are terrible.
Yeah.
Painful for us beer guys.
But it was
be in the bottom of the 7th, getting ready to shut it down, and they scored 10 runs.
Yeah. Well, that's better than when they have those big innings after the beer gets shut off.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm already out of there. We do a great job during the day. We come out there to help out, and we get up. We get out about 4:00 in the morning, and so when we're out there at 9:30 at night, we're just like, "Oh, come on, hurry up, let's go." So we can get this stuff untapped and get out of here. But I think this is their last homestand of the regular season.
No, they go till October 4th.
Yeah, that's what I told somebody. They didn't believe me.
Yeah, they extended it out a month.
This month.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I just said that's the only thing that was on the calendar, the 16th and the 21st. Now I didn't know if that was playoffs or just regular season.
No, it's just regular season. We're not going to make the playoffs this year, but
you don't think so?
No, we're 6.5 games out in our division, and I don't see
shows you how much I've been paying attention.
Don't see it happening.
But I saw the Thorpe shirt, and I had to mention something.
But I will tell you that, and I love baseball, but the playoffs in AAA are a joke.
Really?
Because before, or at least in the regular seasons, I'm not sure how it's going to work this year, but there's the major league teams get to expand. So all the people on the 40-man roster go up.
Right.
So we lose all the guys that are also on the 40-man roster. So you lose like 11 of your guys. It could be a variety of different pitchers and stuff, but you lose 11 players right before the AAA playoffs. So it's like suddenly all these guys from Tulsa, AA, come up to fill those slots, and you're like, who are these guys? And so basically you go into the playoffs with a whole different team than got you there. It's really crazy. And but it has to do with the major league expansion date, and I'm not sure when that is right now. But
I just like their manager. Their manager is very colorful.
The big Dodgers or our Dodgers?
What's that?
Our Dodgers or the big Dodgers?
Oh no, our Dodgers. He's short ball guy. Man, he's colorful as hell.
The first base coach, actually he's the bench coach, but he coaches third base. He was our manager 3 years ago, and they took him back to LA and then sent him back down here. But Hasselman, he's a big guy.
Yeah.
But
the other issue they're going to have to tackle at that ballpark is stuff's collapsing around there. They got to fix that staircase. Their stuff broke down in the basement. Oh man.
Yep.
That cooler broke on us down there in the basement for like 7 days. We had to bring a refrigerated truck out there.
I don't know whose responsibility all that is. The city owns it.
It's the city. The city's responsible.
But you know, they've stripped that whole third base side upstairs. All the seats, every bit of that is gone to keep the seats down below. They closed that off and stripped all the parts from up there to keep the seats down below
Right.
serviceable. And they just slowly but surely, and you know, the other day I was talking to somebody anyway. They said the fryer over at the burger place had frizzled and it's so old. You know, it was original when they built that place 20 years ago.
No, it's been broke for a while.
And they can't get parts for it because so it's not a matter of fixing it. It's a matter of, you know, it's time to buy a new one, you know, so.
Good luck with that. It's all the city, man.
Yeah, I didn't know if that would be the team or the city or how their lease is written, but
the Chesapeake, excuse me, the Chickasaw is owned by the city. And they're responsible for renovations. Kind of like we just finally got a new beer glycol system into Chesapeake, excuse me, Paycom, the Paycom Arena. They just now fixed it because of all the gunk that was coming out of those lines. And that thing, that glycol system that was in there, it had been in there since it was the Ford Center. Just gross.
Wow.
I don't care how bad you bleed those lines. It still smelled like, you know, like rotten, you know what. So.
Yeah. Hey, Ken, I'm going to change the subject here. You know,
Okay.
Chris there's got a Hasselblad and some stuff for sale.
Oh, he does.
I know you're a camera guy too,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. He's got a 500C. Is that what it is, Chris?
Yeah, 500 cm,
Yeah.
two lenses, two backs,
Yeah.
collapsible lens hood, pistol grip.
That's a lot of money. I don't know.
Well, it's about $4,000 used, but I'm selling it for 17.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get money for that radio.
I know. I don't think you'll have any trouble. You know, some of the studio photographer guys will probably.
Well, Mark Klein put it on the club's Facebook account.
Yeah.
So we'll see if anybody responds. Sam, do you know when that was on the Facebook?
No. I mean,
Okay.
I remember seeing it and
I think it was about a week ago that I asked Mark if he knew anyone in the club who was a photographer.
Yeah. I've got a Nikon F4.
Good camera.
I'll never use that. You know, it's a pro Nikon.
Oh, yeah.
camera with
Oh,
the,
yeah.
motor drive and a bunch of accessories for it, but I haven't had a roll of film in that thing in years. I've got a Nikon professional digital camera now. It's called 610, and so man, you know, the same lenses fit on it that fit on the F4. Even the old manual focus lenses still fit on this new camera body, and the old manual lenses were the best lenses made. You know, and I've got several of them.
so did anybody on here do the meeting on Saturday and hear Bob Heil?
No.
He's always interesting, but I was in Tulsa. So.
I heard him. He's good.
Yeah, he puts on a good talk.
You're gonna hate me because I didn't know who he was until I actually took a double take.
Yeah.
I think I remember him from Ham Nation by accident, but never.
I've seen one of his seminars before.
Yeah, I saw him up in Tulsa. Well, it was the last Ham Fest they had in Tulsa, which was Green Country, but it was in what's north of Tulsa up there? Claremore. Yeah, I saw him up there in person. And,
yeah.
All right, it's been 5 days, Mr. Chris.
Oh, okay. And nobody's responded yet. What's with you guys? Come on.
Couple of thumbs up.
Help a fellow ham here, you know?
To make a they make a digital back for that.
Yeah, for $5,000.
You think we have, that's nothing to some of them model photographers and studio photographers.
Did you know that
You think
I
they'd
saw
grab
that?
it.
Yeah, I saw a new digital Hasselblad a couple of months back, and $58,000.
Yeah, and that's exactly why people should go for the camera body that you've got.
Yeah,
Cut the back off and put a digital back on it.
$5,000
Yeah,
for digital back.
that's a heck of a lot cheaper than 30 or 40 grand that they pay for them.
Oh yeah. Well,
you got some pretty good lenses for it too. So
yeah, I sure
Yeah,
have.
wide angle and a telephoto.
Yep. Yep. Well, it was a beautiful piece of equipment and served me well.
Yep.
Made
Hey,
me a
Ken,
lot of money.
I did do some research on chemicals and stuff. You know, you and I talked a few weeks ago about whether
Yeah.
Kodak even, apparently I thought they'd quit making all that stuff, but it's still out there. I don't know if they make it here or pay somebody to make out. Who knows? But
I really had fun doing the black and white in the dark room, but
Yep.
whenever I got into color, I quickly lost the interest in it.
yeah, Me
It's
too.
too much of a problem. For one thing, you can mix up a bunch of chemicals and you got to use it up or it goes bad.
really quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I did do slide film. But after I started doing wildlife photography, I didn't do any of my own processing. I sent it to a Fuji lab or Kodak lab and let them do it. They did a better job on that slide film than, and they was more consistent than I was. I didn't want to screw up a good roll of film, you know. So I'll let them do it.
screw it up easy enough with the camera.
Yeah.
Set the wrong ASA or a lot of different ways. I've screwed up rolls of film over the years.
Can anybody tell what they're doing in there tonight?
Couldn't hear
No one's even told us. They just disappeared, went off into their little corners, and that was it.
Usually there's more people
Oh yeah,
than I'm looking at.
it. Looks like there's about
I
there's
see
8 or
Mark.
10.
yeah, there's at least 8 or 10. That's probably
What are they
about
working
what
on? They're just sitting there.
Yes.
they're working on
They
something.
can hear us.
I picked up the phone and called Mark Clayton one night because he wouldn't listen to us.
Yeah, I've
Yeah, I
done
know you
that too.
did. And I think Sam called and had him turn it down because
Yeah.
we couldn't talk. For
Yeah,
them.
they had the microphone up on and we couldn't hear each other for them. So
We couldn't understand them and couldn't hear ourselves.
yeah.
So that was a good decision.
I wonder if they can help me with an amplifier.
You know, I tried the last time I was up there to kind of
Sure,
MC
go.
it, to try to get hold of the mic and go around but it's just awkward. The camera's, you know, I can talk to you, I can walk around with the microphone, but the
Mhm.
camera's on a tripod. So,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, it can't show you stuff. And I don't know. It's,
I talked to Mark Clayton a couple of weeks ago to see if maybe he could walk around with the camera and the microphone and show us what the groups are doing and
Yeah.
get us connected with what's going on there.
Well, since we're disconnected, at least
Yeah.
we'd like to be able to talk amongst ourselves without interference from them because, you know, that time they had it, and a couple of times they've had it so loud that we couldn't talk to each other.
Yeah.
oh, well, you know, it's,
So this is working pretty good since we can't go up there.
yeah. And I enjoy you guys and, you know, you never know when you go there. I mean, you know, it's like tonight there, you know, last time, a few weeks ago, I didn't go and there were 40 people there and they had all these projects going and
Well,
you
we
know.
got coronavirus cranking back up now and people
Yeah.
are probably starting to slow down.
I don't think so. But anyway, Piedmont had their Founders Day on Saturday, and I didn't go, but I heard it was just an absolute what should I say?
Virus spreader.
Virus fest.
Yeah.
People hugging each other, and
Oh,
you
my
know, just all over, just no regard at all. You know, it's like it never happened. So glad I didn't go, but
So do they have us on mute?
I don't know.
They're up
I'm trying to get Mark's attention, but I don't think he
12 or 1,500 new cases today.
I'll call
No,
him. What do you want?
And some
I
days,
want to know if they'll work. I got an amplifier I need to solve a problem with that I don't know what's going on with it.
let's
Yeah,
start
I
a
wanna-
chant. Mark Clayton.
it-
Mark
take-
Clayton.
Take it in and they'll work on it.
So
Oh, I
what kind of
can't decide
amplifier
if
is it?
Can't decide if it's a cap or it's a fuse.
What
I'll call
kind of-
Mark.
What kind
I'm
of
calling Mark.
Yeah, give him a call.
What kind of an amplifier is it?
Oh, I'll show it to you. And the net's fixing to start. Oh, here it is right here. Let's see if I can do it. See if I can get it up. There we go.
I'm getting dizzy.
There we go. But there's no power on transmit. So there you got it.
No RF out.
Yeah, no RF out. I mean, it loads up just like it should, but there's no RF out. And the manual says that if that's the problem, it's a fuse. But I changed the fuse and still nothing.
I tried to get hold of Mark and he's got his phone turned off.
Oh, that's all right.
So that's a tube.
Maybe he'll look at the
amplifier?
video in a week or so.
That's a tube amplifier, John.
Yeah. Oh, geez, I can't remember. They're 6 something. They're TV tubes.
So
Oh,
6AQ5.
oh, I can't remember the tubes. Hold on.
They're
I'll look it up.
horizontal output tubes.
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
They're horizontal output tubes for TV.
Yeah.
Has it got a pair of them in it?
Oh, hold on a second. They're sweep tubes.
All
Sorry.
right. If you reach in there and hold on to the plate cap and then key it up, see if it's got high voltage.
Hope you're kidding, Ken. Ken, quick before.
No. I've had an arm go numb before.
Hey, Ken, I'm slow, but I got that.
Yeah.
One second, guys. I got to turn this radio on.
7-3, guys. I'm going to the Aries net.
Okay, Mike.
All right, Mike.
Take care,
Take
Mike.
care.
Good to
Nice-
see
All
you.
right.
Nice seeing you.
I couldn't see what kind of amplifier it was. It looked pretty nice. What brand is it? Is it an Ameritron or? He's muted. Muted and can't hear me. Anyway, there may be a fuse in the high voltage. He checked the fuse on the AC going in. I worked a EME station a week or so ago. I don't think you've been on since I done that, Sam. I worked a station in Germany on 70 centimeter moon bounce.
You did. You finally got your moon bounce going.
Yeah, I'm not doing it very good because I don't have tracking,
Right.
and I have to go out there and move the antenna and point it at the moon. And the only time I can do it is when I can see the moon, and that's not very often, you know. It's been cloudy and overcast and not a good time. The moon's not always visible. Sometimes the sun's behind the moon, so without tracking, it's hard to do. So
Right.
I've got you can see the rotor controller behind me there. It's a Yaesu 5500 azimuth and elevation rotor controller. It's got a little box on top of it that hooks it to the computer, and then the computer program tells it where the moon's at, and it automatically rotates the antenna in azimuth and elevation. And I just got it this morning, and I'm trying to get it to work. I can talk to it by using a terminal program, but the program that I use to track the moon, I can't get it to work. So there's about 50,000 settings in that program, and I haven't found them all yet. I think I've only found a couple of them. I got a little more poking around. It's a pretty slick setup. Let's see if you can see you can see it there. And you see the little controller and little box on top of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, well, I can't do it. Right there. The box on top hooks to the USB port on the
Right.
laptop. And then the program tells it where to rotate to. So I'll be playing with that probably for a day or two.
So when are you going to do that?
I'm gonna work on it probably tomorrow. I gotta get the software working before I put the rotor up in the air. I've got the rotor on the floor here hooked up so I can see if it's working or not.
See, I'm just amazed that you could, since you've been talking about that, I sit out on the deck sometimes and I watch the moon more than and it trucks across the sky. I mean,
Yeah.
to do it
Oh, yeah.
manually is just seems like it'd be impossible.
It comes up in the east and goes across the southern sky and sits in the west. And
I mean, I don't know how long you have to be on it to make a contact,
well, not very long. It's probably 2 or 3 minutes to make a contact, but you have to be pretty much right on it. And if I'm right on it and I come in a house, then it takes me 10 minutes to get someone to talk to me. It's already moved away from it by that time.
Right.
So it's just hard to do like that.
You don't have an automatic tracker?
That's what I've just been talking about.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed out.
That's what that is on the desk behind me.
Oh, okay. I was on the phone trying to get hold of Mark Klein.
Okay, I'm trying to get. I'm working on that to get it going. But I did work a station in Germany, and I'm using 2 homebrew Yagis and 100 watts.
Wow.
Germany by bouncing off the moon.
Bouncing off the moon.
Yep.
That's just incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is for 100 watts.
I think to do it manually is totally incredible. I mean, it's amazing. I was just sitting out on the deck the other night. We were sitting out there and I started watching the moon versus a tree, and you just don't realize.
Faster than you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, you don't realize how fast that thing moves across the sky, trying to keep an antenna aimed on it. It's like crazy.
Wears me out going in and out. Go out there and move it and come back in. Copy a few people, but it's hard to work them. Got to get this thing working so I can set it up and let it track it.
Yeah.
Cool. How accurate is that supposed to be?
Well, not as accurate as I'd like it to be. They do have a controller that runs these 2 rotors that it's got a digital readout and it's more accurate, but I don't have that. That may be down the road.
Probably a whole lot more money.
Well, the controller that goes with this rotor is only about $300 and some. But this little controller box, right, I can, that little box right there on top, that sucker is about $700.
Ooh.
And it's been around for
Out of-
years.
Out of my league.
It's a Yaesu.
Not if you sell that camera.
Yeah.
Well, then help me sell that camera.
Yeah. Shoot. Them lenses is worth $700. What's the two lenses you have, Chris?
I was afraid you were going to ask me that. I've got the 80 millimeter planar, and then I've got the 65 millimeter Distagon T-Star.
Yeah.
And
What's the
that,
wide angle for that?
yeah, and that lens is incredible.
Yeah.
That's
I
so
know it
sharp.
is.
So sharp you can
Oh,
cut your hair with it.
and then you have a telephoto there, didn't you?
No, I only had the two lenses.
Oh, I was thinking you had three.
No, just the two. But now I've got a Proxar lens that you screw onto the 80 millimeter planar, and you can fill the frame with a postage stamp.
Yeah, it's for macro
For
photography.
Yeah, for macro. And those aren't cheap.
I've got a 200 millimeter Nikkor macro lens. It's a 200 millimeter 2.8. It'll focus down to life size. I used to use that for butterfly photography because
Oh yeah.
being 200 millimeter, I
Yeah.
could get a little bit away from them and still get full frame on them.
Yeah. I've got a 70 to 300 Nikkor for my D700 Nikon, and
Yeah.
I used it for butterfly work, butterflies and hummingbirds. And
Yeah. I had a hummingbird shot published in Outdoor Oklahoma. It was hummingbird in flight. And I had 5 flashes set up on that dude to stop
Wow.
that action. The shutter doesn't stop the action. It's the
Yeah.
duration of the pulse that stops the action. And so you have to set the flash at where it's the duration of the pulse is like 1/5000th of a second. So when you do that, you don't get much light out of it. So you have to have several flashes to get enough light to light them up, to stop the action in mid-flight. That was a fun project. Time consuming.
Yeah, those Hummers are fun to shoot.
Yeah, difficult.
Yeah.
Another project that I did is I put a camera on the side of a Eastern bluebird box, and I photographed them inside feeding the babies. And one of those shots is on my my K5 DNL.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw
and
that. That was a good shot.
I shot out 2 or 3 rolls of film on that, and there was an article in Outdoor Oklahoma that I wrote, and an article in Birders World using some of those photographs.
Well, good for you.
Birders World pays 3 times more money than Outdoor Oklahoma does.
Oh yeah.
State
Oh, yeah.
magazines don't pay very much, but Birders World paid me $700 for the pictures and the article. And Outdoor Oklahoma paid me about, I don't remember, $375, I think.
Well, I can't believe I can't get hold of anyone in the room there. They've all got their phones turned off.
Who's that? Peter Core back there in the back. And
Yeah.
I don't see Mark Klein. I haven't seen him.
No, Mark is hidden.
See Mark
Ken
Clayton.
and Clay, yeah, and Ken. Now I don't know who's sitting right there by Mark.
I can't see it good enough to tell.
Yeah,
Well, there's Peter Core. I see him. Is that Mark Klein with his back to us?
I don't think so.
Blue shirt? No.
Mark Clayton over on the right with his back to us.
I mean Mark Clay
Yeah,
Blue shirt.
on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blue shirt.
I think
Clayton.
Mark Klein is over by the emergency room, communications room, in that group up in the left corner.
Mhm.
I know Mike is up in there.
Yeah, I don't know who the others are.
So, Chris, what kind of radio do you plan on buying? I forgot. I think you told me.
Oh yeah, a Kenwood
Oh, yeah.
TS
Yeah.
590 SG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna be happy with that. I know
Well,
a
I
few
got
guys that. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say I got on a 590 group online,
Mhm.
and it's a worldwide group,
Yeah,
and I'm learning a lot about the radio that I don't hear on QRZ or other places.
yeah.
But one
The
thing
reason-
I've not heard anybody say anything bad about the radio.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine. He's a Silent Key now, but he bought one when they first came out. He lived in Shawnee, and I went over there and helped him set it up. It was pretty nice. I helped him set up the USB interface to the computer so he could do digital mode, and it's a real nice radio. And there's quite a few hams that use them on the 630 meter band. I've sold some of my amplifiers to guys that have that, and it puts out a small signal on 630 meters, which is 475 kilohertz. And I only needed, for my amplifier, I only need 1 milliwatt to get 200 watts out of the amplifier. So they come out of the transverter output on the back and go into my amplifier, and with 1 milliwatt in to get 200 watts out. And that worked out real good for them.
Well, I hear it's a good radio. I found one today for sale for $725,
Yeah,
but it's a 2011, and I don't want an old one like that.
yeah,
You can buy 1 or 2 year old for 900.
yeah. Yeah, for a couple $100, you might as well go ahead and try to get a later model one.
Yeah. Well, I've got enough saved up that I could afford to go buy a brand new one.
Yeah.
But I don't see any sense in doing that.
What are new ones going for now? About 1,200?
They're going for $14.95.
Yeah. I know this
Now-
guy. I know Casey.
Yeah,
he bought his at Hamfest for about 1,200. I think
Yeah,
he
you
bought
can
it
get-
at Ardmore Hamfest.
Yeah. you can get them for that. But I'd rather get a used one, a year or two old, and save the money.
Yeah,
Let somebody else lose that initial money.
yeah. Kind of like buying a new pickup. Kind of like buying
Exactly.
a new Ford pickup.
Exactly.
I wish I had the name of the guy I bought this bug from. You know, this widow has all this equipment, and he was supposed to email me the pictures of the rest of the Morse code keys she's got, but
Wow.
I'm sure she's got other equipment. But that's
Yeah.
you might if I hear from her, I'll get hold of you, Chris. But I
Okay,
thought
appreciate it.
I gave you my
Appreciate it.
email address. I thought by now he'd have contacted me, but so I didn't get his name or anything. Just handed him cash and walked off.
Yeah.
Where'd you buy that? At Hamfest?
Yeah. Yeah. I bought it up at Tulsa. So,
Claremore or Tulsa?
well, it was in Tulsa, actually. It's the green country. It was in
Oh,
Claremore
yeah.
2 years ago, but it was in Tulsa this time.
Yeah.
I drove all the way up there and it was at this church. It's a huge church. I mean,
Mm.
it is monstrous. And I pull up and there's like nobody in the parking lot. And I said, thought, did they cancel it? And I didn't get the message or what? I drove all the way up here. Turned out it was out behind the church. You had to drive around and there
He
it
was on the
was.
wrong side.
Yeah. And this church was a monster. Oh my gosh.
Well, you don't want to get on the wrong side of the church.
No, I've tried not to. But,
About getting on the wrong side of the wife.
That's right.
I'll tell you what, I've got to go. She sat in the truck for about an hour while I wandered the sale, and she had her computer, and she was very patient. I parked under a tree, and what in the world? Oh, anyway. Speaking of the wife, I guess I better be thinking about getting off of here. Told her I'd be done by 8:30, so I'm not quite there.
Uh-oh.
She's very patient in my hobbies, but I try not to push my limits.
Sam, do you have an HF rig, Sam?
Yeah, I've got a 7300, ICOM 7300.
So how do you like it?
Oh, I love it. Except I haven't figured out all the things it'll do.
Yeah, well, most of us don't. Takes a while.
Well,
So-
all these new radios have so many features. I mean, it's just crazy.
So it's got 2 meters and 70 centimeters on it.
Oh, you're talking about? No, I'm talking about my HF rigs. No, it's just
I'm
HF.
Okay, it's 160 through 6.
Yeah. Now I've got a oh gosh, what is the Connect Systems DMR radio that I use for 2 meter and 70 centimeter sitting here in the shack.
But I'm talking an all mode transceiver, not an FM. When you can do CW, sideband, digital modes on, that's what some of those guys are buying.
Yeah, I've got a ICOM
plus.
I've got a 7100 in my truck, except sort of. I bought a new truck. I haven't got it all installed yet, but it's HF and 2 meter 70 centimeter all in one unit.
Yeah.
But and you could do CW and
it's a 70 watts.
7700. 71 or 73. I can't. I've got both.
That's okay. I'm just wondering.
Maybe it's I've got an ICOM 7100 and I've got an ICOM 7300. One of them is just 2 meter 70 centimeter, and one of them, the 7100 is all bands. It's HF and 6 meter, 2 meter, and 70 centimeter, and the 7300 is just 2 meter and 70 centimeter. I get them confused.
That's the one you're putting in your truck.
Yeah, the all band one. It's the one I had in my Avalanche, and now I'm putting it in my. Actually, I'm just waiting for a bracket to come that I bought to do the put my ham sticks on to do my HF antenna.
Yeah.
Got it all figured out, and I've got the coax, I've got all the connectors, I've got it all figured out how I'm going to run the cable. I'm just waiting for this.
So where are you going to mount your antenna on that truck?
Well, the HF antenna is going to go in the stake pocket on the back at the tail of the bed back there. And I found this website, and I hate to say it, but it's a CB website, but it's called Right Channel Radios, and they have great selection of different mounts for stuff. And a CB mount works. I mean,
sure.
Ham stick and a CB stick are the same animal, basically. Just So, but they have the best selection of anything. So I'm waiting on them to send me the steak pocket mount. And I actually ordered two. There's one that is an offset and one that's straight out of the steak pocket. And I'm not sure which one I want. So I just ordered, they're $20. So I ordered both of them.
Yeah.
You know, $50 shipping and all. So, but I know where I'm going to drill my holes. I know I've got it all figured out. It's just a matter of doing it. But I don't want to, I'm going to practically have to take the back seat out and take the carpet down and all this to run the coax. I don't want to do it until I'm ready to do it, you know.
Yeah.
Wait for cool weather.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I went out there the other day and actually I've been wanting to get up under the truck and really, figure out where I'm going to punch through I always like to come out of the bottom of the cab so water that's less likely to get up in. And of course, even though I put silicone on stuff, but anyway, I wanted to get on the ground out there and crawl up under there a little bit. And it's been I finally, Sunday, it was cool enough. I was able to actually lay on the concrete and figure all this out. So older I get, the more I plan before I do anything,
Yeah, me too.
When I was younger, I'd already have 10 holes drilled in that truck,
Yeah.
But
It's supposed to be a little bit cooler in another week or so.
well, it's
About
supposed
time
to
the fair starts, it ought to cool off a little bit.
should rain. It always rains.
Supposed to.
Let's see, what do we got? Wrong thing. Let's see what's
Well, guys, I think I'm going to have to say 73s and back out of here.
Yeah, I need to go too.
Nice talking with you all this evening and hope to see you next week. Stay healthy.
Yeah,
All right,
you guys too.
Send me I'll check my email stuff and see if maybe you went into the,
I used the ARRL address
okay.
on QRZ.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
on the ARRL, is that on QRZ?
Well, whatever it
.com?
was I got it on QRZ. So whatever it was on QRZ is where I sent it.
Well, that's my current email address, but I'll go look
Okay.
and see if maybe you got it in the spam folder or something. I'll take a look.
All righty. Well, you all take
All
care. Have a good one.
Have a good
All
night.
right, talk to you later.
Good night.
Yep, I'm headed to John. We'll see you Tuesday.
I'll see you guys later too.
You guys have a good night.
Leave, see if they notice us. Just leave and see if they notice we're gone.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. See you next week.
All right.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Hi, Larry.
Hello.
Yeah.